Hey.
Hi.
Whoa.
Hi.
So guys who hated their freshman year roommate, I know I did.
Didn't love them.
Definitely.
Who
Yeah.
had bad or good experiences with their freshman year roommate? Like I know Isaac, you were saying something about.
Yeah, I can go first. So
Yeah.
basically, I was a transfer student. So I moved in at the beginning of January of my freshman year, and I didn't really get any of the freshman housing options. So I moved into Lothrop Hall, which is not traditionally a freshman dorm. And they don't have a lot of doubles either. So it was a really weird situation. And my roommate was a junior and I was a freshman, and the age difference was kind of weird. And he was like this big dude with super long hair and like a fully grown beard. And I was like, this is like my first time, first time moving to a city. And then he had like a collection of blue jeans. I think this guy owned like 20 pairs of blue jeans that he just threw on the floor. So the dorm room was always a mess. And he would stay up till like 3 a.m. every night playing video games. And it was terrible. So I ended up moving out and getting a single in the same dorm building. So that was pretty terrible.
Yeah, because Lothrop is like all the way down Forbes, right? And like up the hill, or is it not there?
Yeah, it's like
Where you're freshman.
yeah, next to it like connects to like Myron Street, I think.
Oh, so it is
like where Insomnia Cookie is. If you keep going up the hill,
Oh
it's
yeah.
up that way.
So did you transfer in like after, like when did you transfer in?
So it was like the spring semester for 2020.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm surprised they put you there. Like did they not have room?
Yeah, I don't. Well, that was like I don't know. They had like a bunch of like one of my friends was like put in he was also like I had a bunch of friends who would transfer students because they had like the like transfer students all meet each other because none of you have friends yet. You have like your orientation and there's like 20 people, so then you all become friends, and some of them were like living in like the hotel, like I forget like which hotel or the one of the hotels on Fifth. They were like using those as dorm rooms and stuff because they didn't have enough dorm rooms, so like they were just putting all these transfer students in weird housing.
Yeah, I remember that. They put them in like a bunch of random places, and they like put desks, like student like dorm room furniture in the hotels.
Yeah, and I was like, as a transfer student, putting me with a junior.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Pretty crazy.
It's nice they were able to move you out into a single though. Like
they were pretty good about that, but that's my freshman roommate nightmare story.
I guess like for mine wasn't like terrible. She just would wake up like super early and go to bed super early, and I would wake up at like 11 or 12, and she would wake me up at 7 a.m. like with her smoothie, like always using that like NutriBullet thing. It was so loud. And then she'd like make food at night, like go to bed with the lights out by like 9 p.m. So I like felt awkward like doing anything. It was like, it wasn't terrible. She was clean, but like I definitely wouldn't room with her again, I would say, because of that. Like we just didn't have similar personalities.
Yeah, my roommate. Oh, sorry. Let's see.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, my roommate situation wasn't terrible. We actually lived really far from campus because it was like the COVID year. So it was just the two of us all the time together. So slowly you start to get really sick of each other. She was really messy and I wasn't. And also everyone in my family has blonde hair. So like, when there's like hair in the bathroom and you're blonde, you can't really see it. And we had white bathroom floors and she had really dark hair. So this is my first time, like she had leave the hair everywhere and never clean it up. And it was disgusting. Like people would come over to the room and like notice the hair. Oh my gosh. And then by the end of first semester, she like started seeing this guy and she would bring him over, but never tell me when he was over. So like me and my friends would always like walk in on them together.
Oh my gosh.
So bad.
That got to be awful pretty quick. And then also like I was doing long distance, and so once they like got to be closer and they were just like hanging out and watching movies and like being together, I was always like, annoyed because they were like hanging out in the room, and I was like, my boyfriend isn't here, like so annoying to watch them be together.
You have to, yeah, rub it in your face.
But she moved out after first semester, so then I had a huge remodel myself, and I
Wait,
turned her
why
room
did
into a TV room. She was vegan and very into working out, and we lived like a mile from campus, and she was like, I can't get the meals I need, and it's too hard to like walk to the gym every day.
Yeah.
This is what I was told. Anyway,
Yeah.
it worked out for the
Interesting.
best.
Wait,
and
where
I
did
met,
you live? Where did
I
you
lived
live?
in the hotel on Bigelow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, and all classes were on Zoom, so like I rarely left.
Yeah. You don't really
But
get to.
luckily I met like my best friend next door, so I could go over there a lot.
Yeah, you had like a little outlet. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Lex.
my situation was kind of similar to Steph's because my direct roommate, she would also go to bed really early and then get up really early. And I'm definitely more of a night owl too, and I sleep in a little bit more. So that was annoying in that sense. But I lived in Bruce Hall with 6 roommates. So it was like a suite situation. And then we each lived with like one person directly, but it was 6 of us total. And we all found the people like on Facebook. I didn't know anyone, but I did know my direct roommate was coming from high school. But basically it was a lot of different personalities. And although like we all somewhat got along, it wasn't necessarily the best situation. And a lot of people definitely clashed a little bit. So then when we were trying to find where to live like for the next year, we ended up like half of us ended up living together again just because there was really no other option. Like those were the only people we really met. Well, other than like other people in the dorm, but it was kind of hard to find other people to live with. So we ended up living with them again. And then all of it still kind of went the same way and just progressed like in the following years too, which was kind of annoying. But
Yeah.
All right, I could go last. So I'm a commuter student, so I haven't had a lot of roommates, but for a little while I did live with 4 other students, and they all went to CMU. So they're very smart kids, but their social skills were not that impressive. So we did have a lot of issues with that. It's just they didn't know how to talk with each other, with me. Like I was the last guy that joined them. So it was very hard to get to know them and just to talk to them just about, basic stuff. It's just they were not able to tell me how they were doing stuff, like who would take the trash out. We had a hard time communicating. So some of these areas, the skills they were lacking to just relate to another human being. So it was a little difficult in that area. But honestly, I didn't have a lot of other problems with them. Like they were very quiet, so it wasn't like they were loud or they would listen to music very loud, or the problems that Steph had with her roommate. So no, not a lot of issues in those areas. Just not very communicative and socially. What would you say? Very socially skilled.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like part of roommates, like you have to be able to like say things that are awkward. Cause like I know now I live with 8 girls. So it's like a lot of drama all the time, and no one likes to say things to each other's faces. So like we always have issues like taking out the trash or like cleaning the upstairs, and people would just like talk about it to everyone else, but then no one will like do it. So then that's like a huge issue. But we like all had like a house meeting one time, and we all were just like, we need to like say it to each other's faces because it's getting to the point where like we're starting to not be friends because of it. Like, so we kind of just like talked that out, and it was like better. But you know how girls are, I guess. So there's always
Yeah.
going to be like some drama, but for the most part, it's good.
Yeah, no, I live with 7 girls now, and I definitely understand that. That's something me and my roommate who live on the floor with me, we're really good about communicating and being like, take the trash out. I'm cleaning the bathroom this week. You clean the bathroom next week. But it's definitely harder to coordinate in the common rooms. And so we've worked on like, you just have to tell people what you want them to do. Otherwise, it just festers. So
Yeah.
communication is so important.
So important. Yeah. So how did you guys like find your freshman year roommates? Like, did you do Facebook or did you like I know Lexi said you knew one of them, but like, did you?
Yeah,
use
I knew
Facebook?
one of them, but the rest were all from Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found my roommate on Facebook. I was an engineering student, so I was really looking for like an engineering student to live with because I didn't want to live in I didn't want to live in honors housing or the engineering housing. I thought that would be too boring. But I knew that like everyone else would have a lot more free time probably. So I wanted my direct roommate to like also have to stay in with me on Friday nights and do homework.
Wait, are you still engineering? Or no?
Yeah, so freshman year I was an engineering student, and then I dropped out, and my roommate dropped out too. So there you go.
Well, that
Pretty
worked
much
out.
every female I knew in engineering school freshman year dropped out.
Oh
So
my gosh. Yeah, they like the people out with all the hard classes.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyone else?
Yeah, so I found my roommates on Facebook as well, and honestly, it's not an easy task to find people to live together, and so it's I would say that our app Roomie is a great app for people who want to find roommates or share a house together. So because on Facebook, like you can see the people, but they don't have like categories of like, hey, I want a roommate that does this, that, or so that you can match up with them. So that way you don't have to live with somebody that you don't want to, and you're not going to find out how they are, what kind of people they are until you move in with them, and by then it's too late. So I think that Facebook and all of the other apps that you can find people roommates are lacking that where Roomie is our app is going to step in and help people in that department. So I think that is going to be very helpful for people to find out about people and find people like themselves that they could be roommates or housemates with.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because I feel like Facebook's just too much work, and also, yeah, like you don't get a very like specific like understanding of these people until you actually live with them. Because Facebook, you just talk to them, you don't actually like know anything about them. But
Yeah, and Facebook too, like the way that you have to search for people is so inconvenient. Like the fact that it's just like the feed of the community page that you have to like look through, and then there's no way to really like save the posts of people that you've like commented on before and stuff. Like it's a really hard way to keep up with the people that you're trying to connect with too.
yeah, I remember when I was doing it, I used to like screenshot whoever I would like comment on or like message. So I was like,
Yeah.
I need to remember who I even
And then
like,
have to like search their name
remember.
on
Yeah,
the
it was like so
page.
annoying. That process was awful. And then you get people that like are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna room with you, and then end up being like, oh, I found a roommate. Like it's so annoying.
Mhm.
Yeah. I definitely think there's a solution, and I think it's the Roomie app is a way better option.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
And also the biggest thing is safety, right? So with Roomie, people could find roommates and they could go and see and hang out with each other, and also go see the place without having to feel like they're not going to be safe. So with Roomie, they could also feel the safety that they require in order to go somewhere and see new people, meet new people, and see new places. So Roomie is very helpful in that department as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,